You ever wonder what the best Jurassic World Alive models are? We're gonna start with the dinosaur. First up, we got Tarbosaurus. I love the color, I love the spikes going down the back, and I love the just the difference in this Tyrannosaur compared to a Tyrannosaurus Rex, you know? But overall, I just think that this is a really good looking model. I don't like the PNG that they chose when they were, you know, doing promotional stuff and they have a model for it. It just makes the dinosaur look weird. But this is actually a screenshot from the game that I cropped out. But yeah, I think this one looks a lot better. Now we got the Suchomimus. I love the color on this one. The splotches of yellow and, you know, your base color of blue. They fixed the head. So at one point, the snout didn't look like this. It just looked like baryonyx. But then they redid it, and now it looks so much better. And that's very close to what the skull looks like. Problem, though, is that the hands look like a stuffed animal's hands. You know how they don't really, like, get a good look to them? Like, the claws are connected to the tips of the fingers, which is obviously not how it works. But they do have that big claw, you know, that big claw right there, if you can see it. But yeah, Spinosaurs and Baryonychines and stuff like that, like Suchomimus, are kind of known for having that really big claw, and I think Baryonyx is actually that's its big thing. So this model is very good. I do like it. All right, so now we have Diabloceratops. Sorry, I paused there for a second because it wasn't recording before, so now I gotta make sure that it's recording. Anyway, Diabloceratops. Also, you know, it's known for those big horns over there. Fire. Yeah, I really love the, I guess, paint job on this guy. It's just very natural. It kind of gives me, like, that stripe going down the back. Kind of makes me think of the one from Jurassic Park 3 with the male raptors. It looks really, really nice. It looks natural. The toes, can we mention the toes? Look at that. It doesn't look like elephant feet. But even the back ones, it doesn't look like elephant feet. And that's perfect. That's how ceratopsian feet work. They were really weird. They had their, like, finger toes hanging out. It was strange. They didn't have, like, elephant feet. Like, well done on this model. I really gotta, like, when this first came out, I was like, that's for Jurassic World Alive? A mobile game? That looks really good. With the mouth as well. I have another picture. I'll bring it up here in a second, but the cheeks there, it is, as far as I've researched, paleontologists have said that ceratopsian mouths most likely didn't have any kind of, like, cheeks like we do, like mammals. And that little flap of skin that you see a lot in, like, Tyrannosaurus Rex and Jurassic Park, you know, that connects the bottom jaw to the top part of the mouth. That might be present, but less so, if that makes sense. Let me bring up the skull. I took a screenshot of the loading screen for the new update. So okay, here we go. So as you can see, it does kind of have those cheeks off to the side right here. This thing right here. It's not necessarily cheeks, basically. It would be better if it was more about right here, to leave this part of the mouth a lot more open. But other than that, it's fine. It's okay. The beak is great. I love how it's differently shaped. It's not just a whoop. It's like got a little bit of a parrot curve to it. And the nostril placement, exquisite. I really like that. I gotta start learning to put my nostrils down lower. A lot of paleo artists have been doing that recently when I watch it, or when I look up paleo art when it comes to ceratopsians. The little horns here on top of the nose are very nice. You know, they could have had just some keratin spots there. And speaking of keratin, first off, the eyes right here, the eyes are right underneath the horns, which is how it should look, whereas the Triceratops model doesn't have that. And I do like that little keratinous, almost bone structure around the eye. It's really nice. Overall, yeah, I know I spent a lot of time on this one, but like this is one of the better looking models in the game. It's a very good looking model. All right, next up we have Rexy, specifically the Rexy model from Jurassic World is a lot better than the regular Tyrannosaurus Rex. The fingers are a lot fatter. The toes look a lot better. The skull structure of Rexy looks like the one from the movie, and a lot of the time when the model is moving, it just looks heavy and like it just looks good. It looks really, really good compared to your run-of-the-mill Tyrannosaurus Rex model. You see how like the teeth look like they've been like separated or something, and the hands as well. It looks like a puppet, you know? Like it doesn't look like fingers. It just looks like somebody just went like that. Like it doesn't look good, in my opinion. When it's moving, it looks hefty, you know, from the back, especially when you're fighting other dinosaurs. It looks hefty, it looks big, you know, as it should. And obviously, this is just your generic T-Rex. But I would have preferred your generic T-Rex to be like the one from Jurassic Park 2. Like maybe the buck or the doe. I think that's how they say it in the movie. I don't think that that's how it would be in real life if you were to name two bird-like animals that. But anyway, the female or the male version, you know, maybe have your regular T-Rex, the green one with, you know, with the little scar on the mouth or something like that, you know, just not this. But Rexy's good. Here's one of my favorites, Concentricator, and I actually have the toy of this dinosaur, and it looks a lot like this, just not exactly like this, and I kind of wish it looked more like this than the toy does, because with this dinosaur in the game, when its mouth is closed, it does have that lip structure, and so the teeth are hidden, which is really nice, but on the toy, they didn't do that, which is kind of frustrating. And these little spikes along where its name comes from, the concaved vertebrae that are there, I really enjoy the little spikes there. I like the little coloration there, because that could have been a sexual piece to them. Instead of a nice fancy crest on the head, they had these vertebrae bones that stuck out in the back and maybe looked attractive to the females or something, you know? So that's kind of cool. I love the muscle structure. I love how spiky it is. I love the gradient on the tail. I really, really like this. This is one of my favorite models. I love this one. I just wish it was less shrink wrapped, you know, in the face. You can see that antorbital fenestrae in the nostril. Not in the nostril, but oh, my camera doesn't go high enough. Right where the tip of my hair is, that's the antorbital fenestrae, and that is kind of where the sinuses are and stuff like that. And it should be less prominent than that, and it kind of makes the dinosaur look sick and tired or whatever. But moving on to the next one, I really like Concentricator. This one's great. Here's a tiny little guy, Sinusauropteryx, one of my favorite dinosaurs. And this is nearly perfect. If they would have fixed the hands, perfect, because we actually now know, scientists have been able to figure out that the feathers on this little guy were exactly this. And so the modelers for Jurassic World Alive and Jurassic World Evolution 2, it's in that game now. I think the Jurassic World Evolution 2 model looks a little bit better than this one, but this is for a mobile game, so it makes sense. But the bands, this right here, that's accurate. That's what it looks like. It did have this rusty color or whatever. So yeah, this is a good one. This is one of my favorite ones. All right, and lastly we have Edmontosaurus and the little ridges down the back. That is good. They did have that. Unfortunately, the toes aren't perfect. They should have a hoof that goes over it. There is a mummified skeleton that actually has the skin and everything still fossilized on top, and they do have this one nail that goes over the front of their foot. And then you got yourself a beak and not just a flat bill, which is perfect because that's how they looked. And overall, this animal's kind of boring, but this is what it looked like, and I love it. Good job, Jurassic World.